Hi guys, welcome to this new SSD. It's the SSD where I develop Carli, or the ArcoLinux ISO.com website where Carli is hosted, and ALCI, ArcoLinux Calamares installer, an idea I had just to apply Calamares on ArcoLinux stop. Carli is starting from scratch, from A to Z, making packages, repositories, you name it. It's like a real distribution, and ALCI is really just the basics. So I've been busy. Let me first introduce my system I'm working on. Nothing special, of course. ISO, the one of 210310. This will never ever change, right? It's a fixed number. So with this ISO, I have built this machine. Basically, that's all it says. And last time, when did I install everything? You can make it a little bit bigger, like this. Tip: what I'm doing now on my keyboard is, to the left of my spacebar there's an Alt button and a right mouse click. So pressing in the left Alt and the right mouse click, I can drag easily, much easier than finding where exactly that particular line is, right? Like this. So last time I installed everything was on March the 16th. What else is special? DUF is not found. Oh my god. DUF will be available on the ISOs in the next run, the next ISO. DUF gives you a great overview of what I've done. BTRFS. I have a 1 terabyte. And hence the new installation, so jumped from 500 gigabyte to 1 terabyte, so I can make more of the virtual boxes and never run out of space. So that's what I've done. BTRFS, we invite you to test with us. There's a video about it, and we have all kind of snapshots at this point in time. Time shift auto snap. And when I boot up, I have also BTRFS 3 lines in grub. The last line being the time shift auto, well, time shift snapshots, let's call them like that. So I can boot up if something went wrong. I could always boot up in grub. So that's some background information, right? What is this video about? Normally, what I do is I record everything, and there was no intention from me to do a lot of work. But at some point in time I was starting with taking a look at Carli 9. So basically guys, the message is Carli 10 has been already released. It's on GitHub, you can run it, but it was never documented, it was never recorded what I did. So this video is about, let's have a look what I did a week ago. Okay, how do you trace back? How do you go back in time? First of all, where is the Carli GitHubs, right? Where is Carli? So Carli 10 has been updated 6 days ago. Carli 10. So git clone it, and I suppose I have it already. Let's have a look. Control H. We have Carli. Where are you, Carli? Inside Arco, we have Carli. So this is a part of our project. ALCI is not part of our project of Arco. It's some separate idea I just had. Took a few hours, and now we have an Calamares installer for Arch. Thing is, in here I do have, hopefully, right, number 10. I want to go over with you what I've done. And it's been a week, so I hope I will remember everything I did. So right mouse click, that's what you do. What changed? Compare. Now that's one thing, and the other thing is go ahead and use git ahead. Open with git ahead. That gives you also an idea what went down. And we started here, I guess, at some point in time. So 2 options, not sure what is best to start with, but these are all the things I've changed during the time when I started with Carli 10. So at some point in time, I started with Carli 10 GitHub and made these changes so that there was a reference to Vimix theme, and Vimix theme is one from ArcoLinux. It's not one from Carli. So got rid of that and stuff like that. So I think the best thing is to start with a melt. So Carli 9 and 10. The problem there is that we have a major change, a major shift. Like I said, it was never intended to be that way, but we knew it was coming. We always knew it was coming, and here it is. The file is still up here on my desktop to show you guys. This is documented by the Arch ISO guys, saying we will not maintain, we will not use customized AI root file system soon, right? We will not support it soon, without saying anything about the date or something like that. Here it is. Warning, customized AI root file system is depreciated or deprecated. Support for it will be removed in future Arch ISO version, but it was there, this text was there right in October or something, November last year. So when will they stop? We don't know. The thing is, I've made the change. This is no longer needed. But all this, if this is not needed, well, if it does not use the file, it is still needed. So all these elements that are in here somehow got a place inside, well, close and saving, inside Carli 10. Okay, so that's the major change, that we jumped from not using this customized AI root file system to other ways to build the Arch ISO, ArcoLinux ISO, with our adaptations. Now, while we do all that, maybe we should already give him the time to build, right? So number 30 is you haven't downloaded anything, your Pacman var is, your cache is empty or not, right? You do a rebuild, then you do number 40 because you just built, you just downloaded all the packages, they're okay, right? But if it's a while, has been a while, in this case it's been a week, I would say I'll just do a 30, which means all the cache is gone. I will download again all the packages, recent packages of, well, today. And off it goes. Let's see if he finds everything up. Okay, we'll keep track of it to see if something stops or halts the build. Now, maybe if you want to build this thing, I should already tell you guys, you need to import the Carli key, right? Read the MIME, read this one, read that one, and make sure you got the Carli key. And if you do Ctrl-Alt-T, Ctrl-Alt-T, and I do an up all, it shows that I have it. Missing AOR package, Carli keyring. There's nothing missing, but Ye thinks that this should come from AOR. Of course not. It's our own package. So if you start making your own packages, you'll get a long list there, and who cares, right? But do get the Carli keyring in, so you can actually build and sign the packages as they're supposed to, right? So, while that's building, let's have a look at this. Problem is that melt at this point gives us a difficult way to compare because we have different levels. What do I mean? I mean that the Carli 9, take a look at the structure. 3 folders. The other structure. The same level, right? Carli 10, Carli 9, and here it is, it says Arch ISO. So the folders are just one level deeper, which he can't cope. Meld can't cope that. Can't find out or figure out, doesn't have any intelligence. That is one level down in the folder Arch ISO. So what I'll do is the following. I'll do one level up like this and one level up like that. And I'll compare this one with this one. All right, Super F5. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. So this guy with this guy. So the right one is the new one. And now Mel says, okay, got it. I know what to do now. So 9 to the left, 10 to the right. And this, you can forget about that. We'll see all these things here. It's the same thing. It's just not on the same line, but it's okay. What changed to our Carli? I've added the grub line, a default folder. So etc default. So you can always learn after hearing all of this. You can stop the video, go to, whoa, go to your system, file system, etc, and follow. You have those files as well. You have those folders as well. Grub, right? But this is ArcoLinux. ArcoLinux is not the same as the other one. And we have themes in here, for example. And you saw just saw that the theme, the Vimix theme, was in there. That's something specific for ArcoLinux. We like to boot up with a nice grub. It's not done inside Carli. So this is added, and then you go and have a look. So what did we change? We changed the name Carli in here. Log level, less audit output as well. So if you do a dmessage or a sudo dmessage, you'll get less of these rubbish audit things. So sudo dmessage. This line, right? And there'll always be red lines in there. Don't worry, if everything works, then you're in the clear. So if we've added that. Okay, what else? Pacman D. We needed a mirror list, and we just gave him the standard mirror list that was generated at this point in time. And maybe you would think, Eric, what are you doing? It's a year old, right? No, Osbeck is the only one actually that's going to be used. So if everything is okay, and Osbeck is just online and working, all the rest is just rubbish. It's just not used. So it's just that one that's going to be used. If that one fails, it's going to the next one and to the next one and to the next one. But these guys are the major servers. So that's okay. The Polkit, the rules, we told him that we don't want any passwords. Right? Can't I make this bigger and also nicer? Good question. Cobalt. Kate, that's better maybe to look at. But I want to make it bigger as well. So Wheel, that's us. We are members of Wheel. And it says here that we can allow members of the Wheel group to execute any action without password authentication. Meaning this has to go away from our system afterwards. Interesting now, has to go later on. I have switched, that's true. I have switched. I will not use the folder, look where we are. etc sdmconfd was in 9, is not anymore in the version 10. And we're following the rules we've made in ArcoLinux. The SDM config file will come later, somewhere else. And then we have the pacman init service. This arrow and points and all means that basically it's a link, so we don't need to click this thing. This is needed to tell the system, hey, this is not ArcoLinux. We don't want to end in a black screen. In a terminal, in a TTY, we want to have something graphical. So default target, it points to a folder you have, and yeah, why not use the time when you do this, when you watch this video, to have a look at the internals of your system. User, lib, systemd, and then system. And there are a lot of things in here. Also restore, ADSL, basic target, Canberra, services, sockets. There's a lot of services and targets and paths and things in here. And also one for the graphical target. Then we say to the system here, look, it's not going to be LightDM who's going to be in charge. It's going to be SDDM server. So this is not actually a file. Maybe I should show you. This is, well, I'll do it like this, then like that. And in the meantime, the ISO is built, 1.6 gigabyte is out. We'll show, yeah, that's what I want to show. This guy, no, go in here and then etc and then systemd and then system. And these guys are links. This arrow is a link. It points to, look down here, link to user lib systemd and so on. Basically, you might have seen this to other people. ln is a link, -s, and then you say the where it's going to point to and the name you want to invent at that point in time, right? So invent is pointing to the where. So user share this long list there. And if you want to know more, just ln. Targets. That's the correct word. Okay. And then we go up here. Pacman init server. So this link, this guy is pointing to this guy, and actually this guy, whoa, is the one we can open. I am messing with the code. That's better. That's readable. Okay. Extra thing. I've been working on the Carla keyring. True. This and this has the same results, but at some point in time I figured it out. I said it's the one thing that really is bugging me of well, needed a higher level of intelligence, I don't know, was keyrings. It is always difficult to get around keys and keyrings and all that. And at some point in time on ArcoLinux, I figured it out and said, oh, I should do the same on Carli. Basically, this solution, the left or the right, result is the same. So now we have a Carli, where a Carli keyring that's going to be populated at boot time. That's important. One shot, you boot up the computer, it's gonna actually clean everything out. So start afresh, initialize the pacman key. Let's add that as well. Sudo pacman key. If you're stuck, you just type pacman key - tab tab. This is it. With these commands, you should do your stuff. And here is the init. If you want to tell from which key server, if you just want to list the keys, or locally sign, that's the one we've done here. Locally sign the key from Carli, and everything works. Everything is fine. Refresh the keys. So those are the possibilities. Okay. So basically, we have a service that initializes the keys, gets the ArcoLinux keys in, gets the Carli key in, done. And we thought let's make a file somewhere, Carli release, so they know, okay, 1.5 Carli rolling Carli, just to get the name going. That was not smart. Super F5, file, open recent, done. That was smart. So def release, devrel, is the one from version 21031. Again, this is then filled in later on, built that day, that hour, stuff like that. So just like ArcoLinux basically. So we compared, of course, the ArcoLinux with Carli, because we figured it out how to do it on ArcoLinux. So this is then how we do it on Carli. So we have all these groups, and here's the wheel group, and live user, that's me on the ISO, is part of wheel, is part of no password login, is part of auto login, and this is me as live user, 1000. Okay, And then we need shadows. The group shadow first, not the password yet, so the group shadow, that was missing at some point in time in ArcoLinux. Forgot to add it, well actually not forgot, I removed it and I figured out that it was a service then not working, shadow service, and we put it back in, simple as that, and then the service is okay. And then host name, just a name, right? Carli. It seems I've deleted these standard lines that come from ArcoLinux. I've looked it up, some kind of application that adds these lines to it. Do not care very much about it. This one is just coming from Arch. They added some lines, some extra lines. You can see this as well. So if Arch pushes out files, it makes a pack new. It makes a packpath make initcpu.conf. Let's hope we can see something. No, it's not here, but sometimes we have these pack new things, and I just compared what's on there, and it's just a text. I mean, it's not used, and added that to the list. Pacman.conf. I've added I love candy, I see. So the little Pac-Man, if you want to have a little Pac-Man, then you just delete this line, you got it. Sometimes people ask, how do you do that? That's how we do it. And then the passwords. So as root, we have bash on ArcoLinux. I've kept ZSH on Carli, since we do want to stay close to the Arch ISO settings. But in the end, of course, it needs to work. So live user is going to get bash. And here is your sddm.conf. So rather than putting it in a folder, it's now on etc. And it contains everything. Most important thing is live user. So I auto log in into Plasma. That's important for you guys who want to switch. If you say, oh, this Plasma thing on Carli, not my thing, right? Here it is, right? Session Plasma. Session mate, change it here. For the rest, did I do anything about themes? So fonts and themes, don't think I set anything here. Don't think so. So next up, shadow. That's the passwords, I think, right? That's the passwords, or the group, group shadow and G shadow. That's that. I'm thinking. Here's my password. That's the password. Okay, so that's the group. And yeah, customize AI root file system sh. That's the one at the desktop there. It's gone. It's not there anymore. And then we've decided to do the same thinking. We did develop the ArcoLinux 2103.11, where all the file systems are possible, all the encryption is possible. We have 40 possibilities. Carli can do it now too, because, and that's of course some Calamares knowledge, you need to do something consecutively with a sequence. That one before that one, before that one, before that one. If any of these dominoes are not in the right place, it will not fall, right? And that's basically what we have written down here. If you want to have progression on your Calamares installation, it needs to, at some point in time, initialize the Pacman key on the ISO, in the live DVD. Get everything out, get everything in, basically, right? And this is our own Carli setup, not the Linux kernel, Linux preset from ArcoLinux. What we say, we want to have a fallback line. We want to have 2 lines when we boot up. And then we delete ourselves, right? Remove ourselves. And a bit later, at the end of all the installations, we do check. What do we check? We check if folders have the right permission. If we have the good group, change the group to that particular folder. we copy paste everything that's in our etc shell also to root. If we don't do that, we get strange folders when we open as root inside Thunar. Then I become root. And what are my theme settings? What's my mouse settings? What's my icon settings? Rubbish. It will be the standard, I don't know, Advaita or something, these brown folders, and it's going to be ugly. So with this little line, it's going to have the configuration, the .config files, the bash or C file. It's going to be everything that's in the etc shell is going to be there, which looks much nicer. And then we clean up some stuff. Auto login stuff needs to go. We do want to have nano as a editor. Delete the no password thing. No password here as well. GNU. This we're gonna leave in. So I've put a hashtag in front of it. Not that it causes any issues, but that's the trial, right? I'm gonna leave that one in. These are old files that come with Arch ISO. And we're moving our own name to the official folder, not folder file, LSB release. That's a file. Oh yeah, that's a file in TC. Woo, go back. etc LSB release. So it is an existing thing inside ArcoLinux. It says this. That's all it is. All right, but conkeys, NeoFetch maybe as well. Lots of applications get their data from the LSB release file. So it needs to be correct. We're putting the permissions for root folder here, and then it's going to kill itself. Clean yourself up. And we're almost through. This is the major part. The rest is, you have some small things. Let's have a look. Cow space is something we've added months ago. It means I can install 4 GB basically. Well, more or less. You need to download the package and install the package. Well, we have 4 GB of workspace, of hard disk space on a live DVD to, for instance, install quickly Sublime Text and have no issues to quickly install anything, right? Up to 4 GB. Room, the same goes here, but this is the speech thing. So we kept everything as Arch ISO of ArcoLinux intended it. So the speech is on this ISO. And again, cow space, that's the only difference. And here's the cow space. And licenses, it's not important. So this is the other level. This is not really anymore about the build. This is us adding keys to import and clean up and so on. So that's the level in number 10. That's one level up. I did change the packages from Cinnamon. Well, I've added the text here, desktop, bash completion, Carli keyring. So I told you I've made a package called Carli keyring. So that's there now. Carli system installation, we should have a look at that. And the rest, yeah, I've added Termite and Sublime Text so I can edit things and have a terminal when I'm on Plasma. So, okay, packages. So that's Cinnamon for you. That's Deeping. I deleted Deeping, guys. It's too much sick, so let's just delete the file there. And then GNOME, same things apply. Carli system installation, we should have a look. And then Carli keyring. All the rest is the same. Profile def, that's important. I stopped using the date, Carli date. So if you want to keep the date, Control C, Control V. Now it's a number and an ISO version. And as you see, the shadow, now we've added the G shadow with permissions. So these are the permissions, 600 or Hugo, but I guess there are so many, well, user group and others, Hugo. There are other tutorials to go into that. And as you see, there's more. Polkit rules, sudoers. Since we've deleted the AI root file system file, I have to do all that here. And this is our little script that we have there, making sure that I can run it, that I can execute it. So 7 is executable. So that's a major file. And let's see if there is one up. Pacman conf, I love candy, fine. That's the only thing. This is actually the only one that's used is this one, right? This is the only one that's used, packages. And if you want to have XFCE, you just switch. Or Plasma, well, it's the same thing. Mate or GNOME, right? So let's have a quick look. Again, SEDM here. So you have bash completion, Carli keyring. With a list here, I've switched it a little bit around, you see, so that everything is now the same on all of them. Pacman conf, profile def. I think we're done with this particular look. So comparing 9 with 10. Now Carli system installation, what's this about? etc, scal, desktop. That's the Calamaris desktop. Okay, what did change? What's in there? Open it up and read. We're going to execute Calamaris with a -d. Don't think I've done that, and I will do that on ArcoLinux as well, which means it's a debugging thing. And it ends with a long, detailed file, and you can read it. And let's have a look if I can show you. So file system, it's not going to be a detailed one here, but it's something. Calamaris log, var log Calamaris log. So if somebody says I have issues, I say share me the file, right? And we can have a look. So this is not done with debugging because there's nothing to read, really nothing to read at all. So now on Carli we'll get a debugging if we install it, so we can see what's going on and yeah, become smarter again. So that's the Carli system installation. Yep, that's it. We'll just put something on your desktop and then later on we'll delete it, so you don't see that on the future system. We've probably gonna have built, let's have a look, Carli, what should I do now first? The Carli package builds, the keyring. We've made a new package build to build the keyring. And yeah, it's always a pickle to figure out what line should be there, where and how, this and that. Figured it out. This is it. This is what I need. Every line is needed. And voila, I can build now my keyring. And if we can build it, we can put it on the repo. So Calamaris, lots of Calamaris I see. This one is the last one, the very last one. Yeah, 39 is the last one. And we've just built it. Did I change? No, don't think anything changed. Calamaris. I did not compare, but okay, compare. No, nothing really. So in the package build nothing changed, but that doesn't mean that the Calamaris is not changed. So the configuration of Carli Calamaris. Application configuration. Some numbers, so that's no problem. Uncommitted changes. I should push it to the internet, I guess. I'll do that later. Anything else? I think we are getting close to the end of the video. So one level up. Now we actually are building our ISO more than like ArcoLinux, right? No, there was here, let's have a look. In the README, it said here, sudo build sh -v, right? Forget about that. How do we build our Carli 10 now? README. Start building your own Carli version with the use of the scripts, keeping as fake as possible, and then you find the installation scripts. And this is how we build them from now on, which makes it for me easy because it's always time. And so that's been done. Don't think we need this. Let's keep it open. Oops. What I wanted to do was compare, right? Yeah, I wanted to do this. Super F5, directory comparison. I go next time around. I'll make my ArcoLinux ISO. I'll take the ArcoLinux ISO, that's the official one. This has the same structure now, Arch ISO installation, which makes it easy from now on to go to other Carli 10 Arch ISO installation scripts, open, and we can compare. What's the difference between ArcoLinux ISO and Carli 10? And here is already a difference. This one is called ArcoLinux, this one is called Carli. Duh. We have a grub team, Vimix, they don't. And that's it, right? We can easily make things, change things and see what's going on. So here we're using the mod broadcom WL config, and that's coming from Arch ISO. Carli, our intention is there to stay as close as possible to Arch ISO. Bash RC, we love our Bash RC, right? 200 lines, but not Carli. And so on and so on. So now it's easier for you guys to follow along and see what is really different between these two ISOs. They both put out an ISO, they both are Arch Linux based, they're both interesting projects, but what's the real difference? This is it. This is now possible. And then let's end with a video of Oracle Carli 10. Now the output is also different. Like on Carli, we make a folder on your home directory and then Carli out. And you see the time, 27, the 3rd, 15:36. So I've been talking for half an hour and yep, 37 minutes it says. And we open it and we start it, and it's gonna be, yep, on my other screen. Moving you over here. And off we go. With all these changes, we have now another, yeah. The main thing is our ArcoLinux ISO and also ALCI is builders for people who want to build something from scratch. And the only way to learn every single time again after 4 years of development for me is compare, make different startups, make different uses of other Lego blocks, other applications, and that's the only way to compare. Melt again, right? And this Calamares thing is not the same as ArcoLinux. So I can test out some stuff in here, and you see these things, right? And they don't work. And you can do this thing and it works. So it's good to be able to change things. Oh, that's one thing I did do. Let's go back. This changed. I was playing around. That's the only way, that's the fun part, right? Play around with elements. So Carli Calamares configuration, right mouse click, open with Git ahead. Was it this one? Oh my god, what did I do? Twenty-three, 19, here we jump. So this was 13 February and this was 19 March. At some point in time, right, this is the fix for being able to have encrypted parts. So the sequence, the dominoes that should fall behind each other in the right order, this one needs to go here. The hashtag needs to be deleted, otherwise no encryption. This one needs to stay, otherwise no encryption. And these things we've been learning like a few weeks ago. And this one is something new. If there is an error in Calamares, he will tell you everything crashed, and he says, do you want me to post it to the internet? And then you post it to termbin.com. You get an URL and you give us this URL, and we can look at the code and say, it got stuck in that particular module, and maybe we can figure out why it got stuck. So that's a good thing. I think in the future Calamares, hopefully, right, will receive lots of URLs and lots of info what went wrong. And that's why we also want to go to this debugging Calamares thing, so we get as much available information as we can about this dump of information. Yeah, that's an important bit here. So that's going up in time. We need the grub CFG, otherwise it wouldn't work. So it's a module inside Calamares. Needs to stay. So we're leaving this one in. Later on we'll put a hashtag in front of it. We update timeout is 100. Oh my god, right? So yeah, right, the other way around. So these things can run for 10 seconds. I just gave it a few more seconds. Why? Well, because I know there are computers out there who have problems doing that particular process in a short time. Just put it with give it a big timeout, and eventually they'll run this thing. But that's for older computers. We've changed the style sheet so that the debugging button is actually not visible. It's there, it's not visible. It's there, it's not visible. Okay, so this is the information that developers like, or well, not particularly like. Me personally, I like the log file better than this, but you can actually see more or less what's in there. So that's the debugging. That's a little bit hidden. I will hide it completely in ArcoLinux. It's just for information's sake. What else? Make init CPU arch ISO needs to go afterwards, so we remove it. OM setup false, just probably the same thing, right? It is false by default. Quit at end. And then we have here the idea of the Carli before and the Carli after. So I had to make a shell process, Carli after, etc Calamares module shell process, Carli after, and Carli before. And now we can do our thing, right? At some point in time, do this and this and that, and the other point in time, do this and this and that. Again, timeout a little bit more. So rather than putting everything in here, we put it in a script, and that's much easier. I don't need to rebuild for the Calamares configuration. I just need to edit this file, Carli before. And this is then how you do it technically. Give it an ID, give the configuration the correct name and all that. So Carli before and Carli before and Carli after. Net install. This was me playing. Right, this was me playing. We had one called browsers. We have now one called software, because browser is a little bit too specific, so just packages. And you can put anything in here, and there are already users on Discord who are playing around with making their own configuration and say, let's add something. So I just played around with settings, and here you see them. Default, hidden true, selected true, termite. It says hidden true. It's up the browsers, it's up there. is just not there for the user. So Termite will be installed, whether you like it or not, it will be installed. That's the truth. So this is the exercise. What can you do with this net install module from Calamares? Well, you can do more. Browsers, selected, hidden is false now. So we see it, selected false, critical false, expanded true. That's the browsers. These are the shells. Why is this black? Because of settings. Hidden false, selected false, critical true. Oh, and what's in there? Bash and ZSH. This is actually coming from Adrian himself. C shell boss, it's not my idea. Kind of liked it, so I kept it. Kernel, hidden false, selected true, critical true, and immutable true. Result. Ha! Can't do anything. Immutable. Can't do anything. So these are all possibilities, and if you want to know more, github.com Calamares. Read everything that there is to know about net install. It's a module. Communication is active. How did we do that? Communication, where are you? Here. This is the text. That's all. And it's active. Selected false for editing. Okay. So there are parameters to play with, to decide, and even parameters you don't see. Termite is up here. So that's what we've done as well, just for the heck of it, for the fun, to learn about how do these net modules, these net install modules work. So, okay, names, where to put it. This is also something new that we'll use in the future, and that's, we've asked Calamares, wouldn't it be great if, what if you have 2 moments in time. There is January and there's July, and in January you have a list of applications and you say, great, right? All these browsers, super. And in March you say, whoa, I'm missing, I don't know, what are we missing? Vivaldi. We're missing Vivaldi. What if we could check inside Calamares at a place whether there is an update of this particular file, and it's going to tell us to get Vivaldi. So this line here is going to the internet, to ArcoLinux ISO, Carli Calamares, master, etc Calamares, and install software. And I update the GitHub, and I type in Vivaldi. And even with an ISO that's built in January, in March you will see Vivaldi in there. Right? That's a great idea. It means you have a flexible Calamares. There is something that's going to get a new configuration in. You select the new software that's on the list from the internet. It's versatile, it's updating. So that's something we try here out as well. I've been talking to Calamares, we'll test it out for you guys, and that's insight number 39. So we need to have the Calamares 39 3.2.39 now, otherwise it won't work. So that's that. I seem to have added min. Yeah, that's my test. So I pushed that to the internet. The min has been added. It was not in the package, and Calamares showed me the min. So this data, this line here, is not coming from the builds, but it's coming from the internet. It's not coming from a package, it's an URL imported. So that's yeah, that's some major thing, fun stuff, right? Calamares gets better. And if you want it to be super good, contribute to it and or host questions or put issues on there so they can figure it out and it can become better. And let's see if let's him do the job for the rest. Okay, blah blah blah. Next, and then Belgium. Next, come on, next. Erase disk, no swap, whatever. Right. So all these possibilities are there. We can encrypt it and all that. That's gonna work. But this guy, yeah, it's the calamar setting, so it means I can't use Eric. I need to do something very smart. Tough password. Voila. Next. While he's doing his work, we go and have a look once more at this. Go ahead and open it with Git ahead and see what changed. So the deeping, yep, deleted. Deeping is too much sick, right? Or is sick too much. And now we have some lines, some packages we've added. Green means it's just added. So the Vimix, that's for ArcoLinux, it's not for Carli, that's out. And this was old Git lines, we need to go. The key server, this is a better URL to get keys in. Echo, get the Carli key in. So that's an important bit, of course, if you want to build Carli. Hey, it needs to understand who's building it, so you need to get the keys in. And that's again, I don't know, moved up to top level, okay. So we're keeping this particular service in. Mount, well, it's not a service, it's a mount. And for the rest, yeah, this is scripts, how to change the scripts. It's not XFCE, it's Plasma, and so on and so on. It's the ArcoLinux scripts adapted for Carli. So 2 new scripts to run things. So the dominoes, first this, then that, first this, then that, and so on. It really was figuring out what to do first, and so on. That's the fun bit. And then compare with ArcoLinux. It seems it says up here, compare with ArcoLinux. And this is what we've done, right? All the elements that we've changed and added. This is the big chunk of work. All right, now I am at the end, unless, come on guys, show me what we put out. And we have 52 minutes, that's all still okay, under 1 hour. So all these elements, I could, we'll do that later. So it's going to, we can have a look here, that's true. It's not, these are all files, so it's not the particular sequence of things. This is not sequence either, so it ends with welcome. It should be welcome up here, so it's just the list, probably alphabetically, yeah, alphabetically, of all the modules we have. And this is, it doesn't know if it's installing or removing, so depends. I guess I've told him to get termite, so might be installing something. But this should be a general, well, can't make the distinction between installing or removing, so. Oh. Let's open Dolphin and have a look around. Again, Calamares is here, the configuration. What else? In user, too late. And user lib Calmars is in here. In user share, Calmars is in here. And that's where you should go, right? Have a look at all these things. It's building inside temp. It's now gone. But in here was a folder. We could actually go inside. It's not this one, but it's a folder which has no lock, and we could have seen the future system, but we'll reboot inside the future system now. And also, let's have a look at the Calmars log that it is going to put out. So, sleep, restart, shut down. Let's log in. Oh yeah, difficult password. Rek-a-tek-tek. And you see, we've cleaned it out, right? The desktop file is no longer there. And to do a Control-T, that's working. It's console that's there. Termite is there as well, I guess. Let's have a look. Termite is there. That's it, really. I don't think we've done anything else. Update up all. Nope. Right? Not possible. So up all. Sudo pacman -s. That's the one. Oh god. I do hate these difficult passwords for your own machine. And now we have just core, Arch, extra, Arch, community, Arch, and the Carli stuff. What's in the Carli stuff? Oh, what command is it again? Sudo pacman -q, and then we can actually ask this, right? G or something? Those are the groups. That's not it. But you can actually have a command that says, give me everything that's coming from a certain repository. Alright, quickly. If we don't find it, we don't find it. Query, 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 transaction, upgrades. Let's make this bigger. There is query. Or towards its S. Depths, changelog, explicit groups. So the G, info, K, list. List all files owned by a package. Also a good one. Quiet things, search on required upgrades. Oh my god, I don't see it. This is also a good one. Own, search for packages that own a specified file. Very good one. Use it all the time. Sorry guys, it's there. Now, is there anything else I should say before I stop this video? Control-Alt-T. Is Yay installed? Ooh, we do have Yay. Okay. So that's there. Is NeoFetch installed? Yeah, with a penguin. Nice. So I really am thinking very hard if there's anything else I should be saying or adding or telling or what we should or could do. A sudo pacman -remove Carli. What's left? That's the only thing that's left. This is the only package on the system that has any reference to Carli. There is nothing Carli related on the system. Okay, cool, cool. So I can, with this keyring, I can actually install the packages that are coming from the repo. Let's just shut it down. So the repo is here and online, of course. These are the packages coming from the repository. So Calamares is there, the config is there, Carli keyring is there, system installation, so just the icon with -D there. This is for the letters inside Calamares, the keyboard thing there. Make init open swap is for encryption. This, yeah, we have added this as well. An editor for SDDM config, only required for Cinnamon, Mate and stuff like that. We have on Plasma no need for an SDDM config editor, it's inside there. Sublime Text and Yapin. Right, okay. I'll just push everything on the net, see if I forgot to push anything, but I think I'm at the end of my video. So Carli 10, have a go. Everything changed a little bit, well, not a little bit, so a major jump from 9 to 10, but it's easy now to follow up between ArcoLinux and Carli 10. What's different? All right, cheers guys, have fun.